Hello, everyone. This is The Yes Show, young, entertaining, and saved, and I'm your host, LaCora Stevens, and my segment co-host,
Robert Mitchell.
and this is our He Say, She Say segment in regards to a very, very serious topic, the Trayvon Martin case. As we know, Zimmerman walked away as a free man. His gun that killed Trayvon Martin was handed back to him as 6 jurors decided that he was indeed not guilty. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the facts, and then we're going to get on to what's happening, how the community is dealing with the facts and possible solutions so that this will not happen again. Of course, it may, but what can we do to make sure that justice is actually served? So, the facts. Robert, I know that you stayed glued to your television watching this trial. Could you give us a synopsis on the trial and just the facts? What happened?
Well, the facts to me, in my opinion, is that you have a 17-year-old boy that was stalked. And that was always a fact from the beginning to me, whereas when we seen the trial, it seemed to speculate to a difference, even to the point that they made him the aggressor.
Right.
So, it's hard for me to believe in a situation where you have a young man that has someone actually on the phone that he's talking to, telling him to run. Common sense is, if I tell you, LaCora, you need to run away from a situation,
Right.
that means, first of all, that you feel some sort of danger,
Right.
and you're not comfortable. There's not anything about you that I'm saying stand your ground, even though you have the right to do that. So that was a fact in the case. However, it was a fact that led Zimmerman, whatever his name, I really don't care,
we don't.
to actually be not guilty. Not guilty. Can you believe that, LaCora?
I cannot believe it.
Why?
Because, as you stated, he ran away. Facts show that he ran away. Witness stated that. And it's also been stated that Zimmerman, though he feared his life, he still went after Trayvon Martin. That absolutely makes no sense. Because if you are feeling threatened, and that, like you said, you're threatened for your life,
Right.
fight or flee, and you have the opportunity to stay safely in your car, you stay in your car and you adhere, the laws. If someone's telling you stay in your car, sir, stay in your car, and you don't do so, that means that you are actually indeed going out looking for trouble with your loaded gun, as they stated. But they also stated that, but it wasn't a crime. It was not a crime for him to, it wasn't a crime for him to get out of the car. So why, if you made that very clear and you noted that it wasn't, but you still saw that he actually went out of his car to go after Trayvon, why would we say that he's not guilty? That makes absolutely no sense to me.
Well, it makes sense to me. Because when you look at it, LaCora, we had a jury, 5 white women with 1 Hispanic woman. No one representing the African American community. I do believe that education is the key to a lot of things, and I hope that our young people are actually seeing this. And even with that, let me just drop the hoodie for a moment. But I have something here.
Okay.
And what that says danger.
Danger.
Educated, no, positive, educated black man. That's what my shirt says, and it's true, because that is positivity is what we're all asking for right now. I'm not behind anyone that says let's go and riot and tear Sanford down. No, we have a little more class than that,
Right.
whether they believe it or not.
My friend actually said that he feels like Trayvon Martin was chosen for this, and I know that sounds kind of like, what? How dare you? But in a sense, most people, if this was to happen to their parents, they'll kind of sit back like, well, he's gone, we can't do nothing about it.
Oh no, we can.
But
do
they
something
sat
about it.
back and they fought. His parents made sure that they were going to fight about this, and they did. Unfortunately, it did not go the way we would have loved it to go, but we never know. I mean, we do have some possibilities.
We're still fighting though, right now.
Right.
Even with my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, we have a petition going. There's several other petitions that I actually went online and signed up for, which I advise you all guys to find the different petitions out there and actually put your signature down, put your stamp, try to do something that we can actually fight back, because I think they're trying to make this actually a civil rights type case.
Oh, yes, they are.
So-
And actually, let's take a look at this clip that we have that is showing basically what is happening as we speak. Roll it.
We're listening carefully to concerns, and we're emphasizing that the department will conduct a thorough and independent review of the evidence. Now, although I cannot share where our current efforts will lead us from here, I can assure you that in this investigation, and in all cases, we will examine the facts and the law. If we find evidence of a potential federal criminal civil rights crime, we will take appropriate action. And at every step, the facts and the law will guide us forward.
So taking a look at what else we could do, they said they can't possibly make this federal because FBI has interrogated for a year and they found no racial type of motives in this case. So that may be hard, but we may fight the state. So there are possibilities, we shall see. But I know what's happening right now in LA. We live in Los Angeles, California, and there are currently different protesters, and some the news have been identifying as riots, even though nothing has been looted. But people are going into the stores and they're just throwing things over, and one witness identified it as rage. He says they didn't steal anything, they didn't take anything, they just seemed like they were mad.
I know the stories. Of course, I live here. I know what you're talking about. But I noticed the day after the trial, on that Sunday, I was a part and I witnessed several marches that took place, and they were very peaceful. And I did not notice one article, one news flash about these marches. However, it seemed in its perception, time one little riot, all of a sudden now, it's just the same tactics just to smear our image.
And you're right, and I will say, because trust me, I'm the same way. I don't watch the news, I don't take part in that. However, I did want to see what it was about, and I know one of our friends, Tanae, she was out there, and she said it was getting a bit angry, and later on that night I saw footage of them jumping on cars. They actually attacked the news van, not trying to attack people, but just damaging the property. So that's what is going on out here in LA. What we have to focus on, instead of talking about what happened, and people on Facebook are like, so what now? Don't tell me about your little speech. Don't tell me about what's going on. Like, enough. I think those people that are on Facebook talking about, so what now? So what now? I think those should be the first one offering solutions. Don't question me as to so what now. Provide a solution. So we're going to talk about some possible solutions as what we can do.
Right.
And I think my first thing, as you stated, is education. We have to know our laws. We just can't get out there and vote for president, mayor, governor, because at the end of the day, the people who decide that only 6 people need to be on that jury, the people who decide what laws of sagging, $50, $15 fine, which is racial profiling in a sense, even though the Beebs is doing it right now. Yeah, they didn't think that it would carry on into certain communities, even though it is very stupid, this fashion that they're doing. But it is a fact of profiling. So let's call it a spade at the end of the day. We need to educate ourselves on who makes these laws. So who makes sure that these people are seated in the courtroom are state legislators. We have to know who they are, because at the end of the day, that's who we go out. We go out and we vote for our president.
Right.
We vote for our mayor and our governor. But the people that are passing these laws, our stand our ground, all that stuff, our state legislators hold so much power. But do we know who they are? Do you? Do you?
Well, LaCora, I want to find out, because I know, like yourself, even though we live here in Los Angeles, California, we're both embarrassed right now because we are Floridians. So
yes, we are. And I know Stevie Wonder, he was saying he's petitioning. He's pulling a Ray Charles. He decided that I will not play in Florida until this stand your ground law is removed. He is pledging to do so. My friend and I actually tweeted these people of power, our celebrities, who have the gift of gab, which is Oprah Winfrey, Conan O'Brien. Even though he's not our people, he still has the gift of gab. He has an audience. LeBron James, yes, he plays for Florida, but yet and still, make a stance, as Stevie Wonder did, Beyonce, Jay-Z, all of them were tweeted.
Right, and something interesting that you just said about Conan. One thing that's so interesting about this, LaCora, what you just said, that this is this is not about black on white. This is about us all as Americans coming together. One thing that I noticed when I seen the different protesters, they was of all different colors and nationalities. And that touched my heart because that's really what it should be about. This is not something, this is actually, you know, a time in America where everybody is really seeing past the smoke and mirrors. Everybody gets it, and everybody's having a heart right now, and they're saying, wait a minute, okay, hold on, enough is enough. Okay, even I'm affected, you know. And so I think we need to actually be careful as a people that we don't alienate these people, because they always been there. Even back in the real civil rights days, there was always ones of other nationalities
JFK,
that walked along
during
with us.
slavery,
Absolutely.
abolitionists.
Absolutely.
You're right. You're
Absolutely.
right. But it needs to start. It needs to start somewhere. There needs to be some type of magnetic pull. There needs to be, but it needs to start in the community. I mean, I think that it needs to be town hall meetings. I interviewed Bishop T.D. Jakes the other day, and he has his mega fest, and it's getting so large that they're actually going to have it in Texas now. And I said, well, you're educating the people on health, on women empowerment, on entertainment. I said, but what about politics? Because I think what we need to do, Robert, is go ahead and understand what our laws are, who creates these laws, have town hall meetings, organize them yourself, put a list together as who is on the list and who do we want on the ballots for the next coming election. You know, I think all that stuff needs to be talked about, the laws that we have. Find out the laws in your state, because Florida is not the only one who has a stand your ground law.
Right, and that's very important, because even when it comes down to jury selections, we need to find out about this to make sure that this doesn't even happen again. Because this is for anyone. Like I said, it's not a black on white, because if it was the roles were reversed, I would say the same thing. I would want a multicultural type of jury.
Yes.
Because everybody, just like with Rachel Gentile, if you don't come from that background, I may be able to add some value to you to let you know, wait a minute, actually this is a little more common, you know. And just say, far as like when we say people of Haitian descent, I've noticed growing up around them, they have a very aggressive tone.
Right.
Everything sounds like, oh my God, they're mad at each other, when they're really saying, honey, I love you. So, but someone that don't know that
Right.
would take it the wrong way. So I think that it's a reason why we see that we need diversity, and it's not just to play each other against each other or take sides, but to be fair, you know.
And you're right. So I think that, as you stated, town hall meetings, find out who your state legislators are, talk to people, tweet. Tweeting is so wonderful because you have people of power and influence at your fingertips. And I think, you know, remind them of what Ray Charles did, what Stevie Wonder did, how they're taking a stand. And they're saying that, no, I'm not playing around with anything like that. I'm not performing. I'm not giving you my money. I'm not doing anything until y'all get y'all act together. We could sit and talk about Florida all day and say, oh, that crappy state, that blase blah. But at the end of the day, we could do something about it.
Yes, we can.
So any last words for,
Money talks.
and we know what walks. So do you have any last words, Robert?
Well, I would just like to send my love out to the Martin family. Right now, my heart is very heavy. One thing that stood out to me, and I don't know if it did for you, LaCora, but you know, I graduated from Florida A&M University, FAMU, and so did LaCora here. And one of the shirts that Trayvon Martin was wearing, one of the pictures that they had up the most was a FAMU shirt. And what that said to me was, I am Trayvon Martin. And, you know, vice versa, Trayvon Martin is me. And, you know, and I do believe that he was going to be, you know, a very respectable young man. He was going to be educated just like his younger brother was. You know, everything about him said promise, you know, not the other way around. He was not a thug. And so I just want to send my love out and let them know that you're not alone, and that I'm going to do everything within my power to make awareness shine brighter than ever. And yeah, just do my part. That's all I have to say.
And same with me, prayers. My prayers go out. I don't have children, but I have four beautiful, talented nephews that aren't too far from his age. And when I heard the verdict, I almost cried. I just thought about my nephews. So my heart goes out to the family and friends of Trayvon Martin, to the community. Anyone watching, anyone listening, please pass this along and please take part of this movement, because as Emmett Till was a catalyst for the civil rights movement, I think that Trayvon Martin can be a catalyst to a very, very powerful movement. I really do. But we need to do something. As Bishop T.D. Jakes said, he said he doesn't think that there will ever be a Martin Luther King in this 21st century. There could only be one, he said. He said, but I think that it rests upon the community to do something. So hopefully he does this at his mega fest, talks about politics, educating people on politics, as well as you. That you gather and you put together community hall meetings, town hall meetings, whether it's in your living room, backyard, but do something about it.
And quickly, LaCora, I just have to tag on to that. What you just said about T.D. Jakes saying there will never be another Martin Luther King, to me, there need not be. Because Martin Luther King was one man that took the world on his shoulders. No more of that. You know what I'm saying? We all need to stick together. It need to be us, like you just said, a community. So we should all be Martin Luther King, because that's what he prepared us to be mentally, you know. So there definitely shouldn't be one person. You know what I'm saying? It should be all of us. And we know together, I mean, who can break us down? Come on.
We could do this. We can. This is the Yes Show. Young, entertaining, and save. LaCora Stevens.
Robert Mitchell.
Be blessed.
Have a great day, y'all.
Oh, and remember to use your talent to glorify God. Even if that talent is the gift of gab, you have the power to influence people. Bye.
Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago. And when you think about why, in the African American community at least, there's a lot of pain around what happened here, I think it's important to recognize that the African American community is looking at this issue through a set of experiences and a history that doesn't go away. You know, there are very few African American men in this country who haven't had the experience of being followed when they were shopping in a department store. That includes me. There are very, very few African American men who haven't had the experience of walking across the street and hearing the locks click on the doors of cars. That happens to me, at least before I was a senator. I think it's going to be important for all of us to do some soul searching. As difficult and challenging as this whole episode has been for a lot of people, I don't want us to lose sight that things are getting better. Each successive generation seems to be making progress in changing attitudes when it comes to race. Doesn't mean we're in a post-racial society. It doesn't mean that racism is eliminated. But you know, when I talk to Malia and Sasha, and I listen to their friends and I see them interact, they're better than we are. They're better than we were on these issues.